What is up, guys? Today we've got a great video. I've got some parts that have been sitting in my garage for about 2 or 3 months now, and I've been so busy with work I haven't had time to add any of them on or do anything that I've wanted to do to the car for the most part. But gonna show you guys a bit of what I've got going on, what's gonna be getting added today that I am super excited for. I've been actually wanting to put it on the car since I've had the car, and I've had the car going on almost, I think, like 8 months to a year now. But it was one of those purchases that, you know, you must have, and it's such a big deal if you've ever had one before, but if you haven't, you definitely want to get one. It also pains me to say that this pretty toy here is going to be getting sold. I'd prefer not to sell it, but I just can't justify keeping it when I am trying to get a Ducati SV4. It's been my dream bike for the most part. Not to say that this isn't a dream bike for a lot of people, but you know, I want V4 Ducati type speed, and you know, the name that comes with Ducati would be my first exotic bike, my first high-end bike of that caliber, I guess you could say. I mean, obviously Harley is pretty high-end, but I mean, come on, Ducati, Harley, totally different types of bikes that do different things. But if you guys are wanting, this is definitely not a starter bike by any means, but if you guys are wanting a gorgeous bike, sounds great. It honestly sounds almost identical to a Ducati. It doesn't redline as high. It redlines, I believe, at around 10,000 on this bike, and the Ducati is somewhere around, I want to say like 14,000, maybe a little higher. But great bike. If you guys are looking, it is for sale. But let's get back to the special items we've got going on here. So what I have been waiting for all this time, and you guys just may know just from looking at the box size, but oh yes. Whew, this thing is gorgeous. If you could see it in person, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of carbon fiber in person, so it's nothing different. But for the most part, as far as the gorgeous stitching in here, I believe it's the 2x2 twill, the nice little M logo in here, the Yasmarina blue matched steering column up here, and then obviously I kept my heated steering, so that's why this looks like this, because I'm going to have to obviously and sadly solder this together and cut up my stock one to get it to work with this, to keep the heated steering and the carbon, which was an absolute must. You don't have to get these with that, but obviously I prefer to keep heated steering because it's really nice to have. And it also came with nice carbon fiber paddles. Obviously the inside is matched too with the Yasmarina blue, or Yasmarina blue, however you want to say it. But yeah, we are going to get started. I'm going to show you guys how this all works and everything that leads up to it to get it set. And I'm also going to be installing or showing you guys how to install some clear tint. So it's like PPF, it's Vivid. It's not as thick. You can use PPF on this. I prefer to use Vivid dry application just because I'm not trying to go hardcore on the headlights. I would like to, but at the same time, I've got Vivid laying around, so no reason for me to waste, you know, 60, 70 bucks on PPF when I've got perfectly good PPF or Vivid tint that's going to do the exact same thing and protect it for the most part. It's not like I'm taking it off the track or on a dirt course, but it'll give it that look I want. It'll keep it protected for the most part, as I do live on country roads. And let's get this going. I've also got some side skirts I've been working on. These may or may not go on the car. I essentially bought these for dirt cheap just because I'm messing with carbon fiber and I really enjoy working with it. But if you guys weren't aware of how this thing looked before, it was terrible. So it was cracked all along here, all the way to this end, same down here. And I've already fixed everything. I've epoxied it back, sanded it down. This area I clearly couldn't get out because this is embedded within it. So for me to fix this, I'd have to completely take this out, re-epoxy this area, add more carbon, which is just too much work for what I pay for these. I just wanted to work on them and get them looking good for the most part to see, you know, how much better I'm getting messing with carbon. But I mean, they are great if you guys want to dabble in carbon. It is fun. It's not cheap to do, but it is fun. I mean, if you like to work with your hands. But all these need now is some clear coat and polish, and they are done. Figured I'd give you guys a little bit of a comparison between the OEM wheel and then the aftermarket wheel. But if you can tell, this thing is beefy. It's got some girth to it. You know what I'm saying? It's got some girth. This thing's meaty for sure. This stock steering wheel is fantastic. I've got no problems with it either, but obviously this is much nicer. But let's get started on swapping everything over. All right, we got everything switched up, guys. I would have showed a installation video of it all, but there's so many of them online, I didn't feel it was gonna be worth it to waste everybody's time with something that's been uploaded like 15 billion times. It's extremely straightforward for the most part. The only difficulty I ran through here is because since it's not plug and play for the heated steering, you have to essentially wire some bits yourself. And it is not color coded, but it's pretty straightforward. So I mean, you've got on their connection, you've got a blue wire, which is your two positive wires, or not positive, but therefore your temperature control. But you've got two very thin blue wires, and then you've got a red wire, which is your positive, and a black, which is your ground. And then you would link that with your OEM steering wheel's heated steering, which I believe the colors were brown, which would go to red. So brown goes to red, and then black goes to black, obviously. And then the two really thin black ones they have, you would essentially connect to the two temperature control blue wires that they had in here. But obviously you want to test it, so I just pre-wired it, hooked it up, and tested it with the car, and everything was working for the most part, so it was good as far as that goes. But steering wheel is set and done. If you take a look at it for now, oh my gosh, this thing feels nice. This is quite a big improvement from what we've got here, but oh, I can't wait to get this added on. Also, what I highly recommend doing is, because the paddles that they send you to add in, they don't have the same feel of click. It doesn't feel nearly as good. And hear the nice, it's just a really nice click, and the paddles they give you are obviously not OEM, and they click, but it feels kind of cheapy. So you can actually swap these out. You just push out the pin, and I swapped my OEM ones with what they had, and it is much better. But let's get started on getting this installed, guys. I am excited, and look at how well that matches with the car. I feel like my buttons are actually probably off, but the actual steering wheel bit is almost identical. I'm doing everything I can to get this camera to adjust, but I just cannot get the lighting. It's perfectly bright outside, but it's struggling. Plugs back in here, your main bolt here. Pop your airbag back on, and obviously, you know, you gotta pop this bit in here. Pop this bit in right here. I believe that's how that bit goes. Let me make sure I haven't missed it. And then it, oh, come on thing. Boop, there we go, popped in. Now the airbag, and then the, or actually your bolt, and then the airbag. Obviously you'll use your impact. And then once you've got that on, you're set and good to go. All right, guys, got the car pulled out. We are set and ready to go ahead and start tinting or PPFing these front headlights. I'm gonna do both here and both here, and gonna show you guys how to do it. It's honestly really, really easy. It doesn't take much work if you want to do it yourself. But yeah, let's get started. So what we've got here, guys, is Vivid's Plus Premium line. This is what I'm going to be putting on. It's already been pre-cut. I've already pre-cleaned these, so you don't got to worry about that. But it's their super light smoke. That way it doesn't really change the look. These are already pretty dark, so I don't want them any darker. But these will be going on there, and we'll see how it looks. So if you guys can already tell, this is done. This took me maybe a total of 5 minutes, not including the time I had to set this up to record for you guys to see, but it's relatively easy. If you've never done before, don't be scared of it. Obviously I've been doing this for a while, but it's really, really easy. A difficulty level out of 1 to 10 for a beginner, I'm gonna say it's probably a 4 for you, because it really is that easy. Just take your time. But you may have some bubbles left over, which is perfectly fine. It is an air release film, so all you gotta do is just push in the bubbles, or just the heat will let it go on its own too. But for the most part, just push in the bubbles yourself, and then they will work themselves out, and then just clean it. But let's get moving on to the next one. While we're doing all the other things, I also had some things come in that I've been waiting for. The new carbon fiber anniversary edition badges. These things are really nice. They basically go over what you already have. Of course, it is real carbon fiber, but you put these over what you currently have. So you've got your, I believe that's the front badge. You've got your trunk badge in here, and then your steering wheel. And you can get them for your center caps too, for your wheels. Not that I wanted those, I just wanted the main ones. But yeah, these look really, really nice. Extremely good quality. And then you basically just cap them over it. Alright guys, we got everything on the car done. The headlights, the tail lights, the new steering wheel, and the carbon fiber badges have all been added. Just so you guys can take a little looks like. Talk about a good turnout. These are the nice, I believe, 50th anniversary carbon fiber badges. The rear tail light tint. Sorry, it's a little bright on that side, so it's kind of hard to tell with everything there. But you can see here, look at the rear. Nice, and it's light smoke, so it's not pitch black or anything like that. It essentially looks like the tinted tail lights when you get the GTS tail lights. Fronts have been tinted, or PPF, however you want to call it. They do have a purple hue to them. In the direct sunlight, you don't see it, but when it's dark, they have like a very slight purple hue. We've got the other 50th anniversary carbon fiber badge. Oh man, that looks good. I think that really just sets the car off completely. Gives it a look that it didn't really have before. And then for the best part, let's take a look at this steering wheel right here. And look at that thing. Oh my gosh. That is what I'm talking about. The car interior is essentially done. I just need to get carbon fiber for this panel right here, and then potentially the Alcantara headliner that I want to get added at some point. But other than that, the car is done.